Thank you. Senator Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Judge Kidd, do you believe that rape laws are laden with racial baggage?
Senator, I have never made that statement, and as a former prosecutor, I prosecuted individuals who had committed crimes against children and other sexually violent crimes.
Okay. The reason I raised the question is that you're cited in the acknowledgments, very early in the acknowledgments, in a law review article written by Monica Bell, in which she thanks you for conversations that shaped the article. In this article, she makes a number of claims, including the suggestion repeatedly that rape laws, child rape laws, including rape laws generally as well, are laden with racial baggage. She also makes the case that the image of the child molester or the rapist is often disproportionately or unfairly leveled, this sort of racial dog whistle, and makes a lot of these cases after thanking you for conversations that shaped it. Are you saying you disagree with her characterization of the law in that respect?
Senator, I think I recall the article that you're talking about, and I believe that Monica Bell, who's my law school classmate, wrote that article while we were in law school, and I certainly have not made any statements, and I don't recall making any statements to now Professor Bell regarding any rape laws, so I do not adopt anything that she has stated. I'm certain we had conversations generally in law school. I don't recall what they were about, but I certainly do not recall any conversations about rape laws.
Do you share those views that she expressed?
Senator, as best as I can recall your summary, I do not share the views. I would certainly follow whatever laws are in place with regard to rape and whatever issue happens to be at issue.
All right. In the same article, she also stated, quote, when a law threatens to impinge on constitutional rights, and especially where those at risk are those whom society would most like to cast out or even exterminate, courts must understand and evaluate the social forces that motivated these laws. Today, child molestation sparks the same urge for community isolation and the spirit of vigilantism that rape did in the Coker era. An analysis of the multi-layered political context of capital child rape laws suggests that the social forces surrounding the new legislation are inescapably too intense, too frenzied, too emotional, and too mired in racial and class-based prejudice to avoid arbitrariness and caprice. Now, I'm not quite sure what she means by laws that implicate constitutional rights. In a sense, all criminal laws do that, in that they will restrain your liberty if you violate them and you're found guilty. She's arguing, in essence, that evaluating criminal statutes that implicate constitutional rights in one way or another, that in doing that, courts have to understand and evaluate these social forces that animate whatever it is that prompted the enactment of the legislation to begin with. Do you agree with that statement? And what bearing should that have? When and under what circumstances is it appropriate for a federal judge to consider what forces animated the enactment of a statute, for example, prohibiting rape?
Senator, I do not agree with that statement. As a sitting judge, and if I'm confirmed to the 11th Circuit, I would follow the law, and I would follow Supreme Court precedent, the 11th Circuit precedent. It's not my job as a judge to assess societal forces. That's left to the policymakers, not to me.
Are there any circumstances under which the social forces that motivated the enactment of a statute under consideration by the court should be taken into account? If so, what would those circumstances be?
Senator, I know that there are certain circumstances, for instance, with religious liberty, where if there is a a law in terms of assessing whether it's actually generally applicable and neutral. The courts can look to certain circumstances surrounding its enactment, but as a general matter, no senator would not look outside of the plain text of the law.
So outside the narrow context of City of Hialeah versus Church of the Lukumi Babaluai, you would say you typically would not do that as a federal judge?
That's correct.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Hirono.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome to the